Hello and welcome to another beautiful day. The 28th day in the month of June 2022, and this is your Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio station, powered by the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. My name is Taiwo Adiola Shabi, and together I have Simidele Olabisi Oke Omoajayi. We'll be doing the newspaper review together. Good morning, Simidele.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Sharp. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning. Don't mind my village people. They want to be at work today, but you know, yeah, good morning, everyone. This Tuesday morning. How you doing?
Alright, good morning once again. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Lagoon Radio Nigeria, on Instagram and Twitter is at Lagoonradio.Ng. Starting with the Mercury newspaper, at the top of the paper, we'll see lazy youth. I'm proud of Nigerian youth. Buhari recants.
So,
Promises credible elections. That's on page 11. Lazy youth. Okay, I remember him tagging us.
lazy Nigerian youth.
Yeah, so that's on page 11. Bakers threaten strike over rising cost of flour, sugar. Well, I'm really not surprised. I mean, when you buy 200 naira bread and it's like 100 naira bread or 50 naira bread of that time, everything is just going up and up and up and higher and higher. That's on page 12. Haneze writes, UK Embassy wants blackmailers over Ikuri Madu. That's on page 5. 100 days in office, Trails pass vote of confidence on Soludo. That's on page 8. And the major headline there says 2023 APC woos Kwankwaso, and the writer says Kwankwaso's future brighter in APC. Kwankwaso denies rumors of alliance with PDP. LP NNPP merger talk still on. APC highs Dogara for vice president. All of these you can read on page 5 of the Mercury newspaper. Missing ex-Nigerian diplomat Otobo found dead in US. That's on page 6. Take up arms against bandits. Zamfara tells resident. I think it's still on this.
It made the headline yesterday.
So that's on page 7. NDLEA arrests Brazilian returnee with cocaine in private parts. That's on page 12. Saw this yesterday too. Or attack. Akeredolu orders compulsory installation of CCTV devices. That's on page 6. But really, these people, they come covering their faces. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Aside from these people coming, at least you'll be able to monitor the attack and every other incidents that happen around the area. I think that's all on the Mercury newspaper.
All right, let me be your pilot for the Nigerian pilots this morning. And the major headline says, forced to resign. CJN Tanko Muhammad resigns to forestall shutting down Apex Court by September 1. And I think we talked about that yesterday at the afternoon drive show. He resigned on Sunday night. And the reason is because the reason as stated was for ill health and all that. So
some people are actually saying he was coerced to resign. That was so many stories on that. And why some people were saying EFCC should resume work with him.
Because that's the usual.
For whatever reason, I read it in the news this morning. I mean, it's not just about resigning alone. I think there are a lot of things attached to his resignation. So
So let's just take it. Let's just support him that he resigned on health ground, and he has actually maintained that he resigned on health ground. And President Buhari swears in Justice Olumakaiye Ariwola as acting CJN, confers the second highest honor of GCON on retired Justice Tanko Mohammed. That's you can get all of that on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot. And on page 5, on Zamfara, CDS encounters Governor Matawali, says he doesn't have power. On to page 6, still on the CJN exit, public confidence in judiciary at all-time low, says NBA. And on to page 6, Governor Uzodinma gives Imo terrorists 10 days amnesty to surrender. Or what? You can get that on page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot. And moving on to page 7, why there are flaws in lawmaking process in Nigeria. And a lot of us, we keep questioning why there are flaws in lawmaking really in our country, Nigeria. So the Rev'd clerk has said that on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot. Still on page 7, NDLEA seizes 1.3 tons of illicit drugs in Katsina. Still on page 7, NCC says telecom firms' operating costs have risen by, and I think we can actually attest to that now. You know, the telecommunications company, everything is just on the high rise. And when you subscribe, when you do your when you do your monthly subscription is no longer monthly; it's now daily. So on to page 8, 2023, we won't interfere in Nigerians' democratic choice. INEC chairman assures a UN, and we hope you keep to that. Still on page 8, insecurity, Southern Middle Belt leaders indict federal government security agencies. And lastly, on the Nigerian Pilot papers on page 8, attacks on churches worrisome as ardent bandits kill mercilessly. This is from Khan. That's all on page 8. That'll be all for the Nigerian Pilot papers.
And on to the national economy at the top, you can see how to develop Nigeria's solid mineral sector, says experts. Okay, so the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has preferred solutions to draw potential investment and human benefit across mining value chains. Head Corporation Communications LCCI, Mr. Sunday, stated in Lagos on Monday that this was done in collaboration with major Nigerian solid mineral sector stakeholders, and they include the Association of the Metal Exporters of Nigeria and group of companies. Mr. Sunday, Dr. Michael Olawaleku, President LCCI, are saying that the recommendations were to generate insights that would position Nigerians to earn more foreign exchange from solid minerals. You can continue reading on page 4 of the national economy. And also, 6 months after launching Pyramid, locally produced rice still scarce and expensive. Am I right? Well, funny enough, it's only a few people that buys this local rice. Majority of our people like me, I know, they go for foreign rice.
Actually, there are actually lots of people that do the local rice because of health reasons, and at the same time, you know, a lot of people want to change taste. Take for example,
can you share some health benefits of the local rice?
Yeah, it has a lot of health benefits than the bleached one, and you know when you go to Owambe, a lot of people would want to go for ofada rice, you know, and all that. So the demand for local rice is actually high. You know, once you leave it raw, don't just bleach. Leave it raw like that. Let's pick the stones by ourselves and the shafts. You know, and the taste is heavenly. Thank you.
Okay, so wait, there's ofada rice, local rice.
Yeah.
So it's different from Nigerian rice.
It's still the same, really. You know, we have different species. You want me to go into agriculture? We have different species of rice. I need to be
clear and for
okay, like the local rice.
You're talking about ofada rice or the local rice. You know, we have foreign Nigerian rice.
Ofada rice is a local rice. the reason why is tagged Ofada rice is because the origin basically is from Ofada.
Mm.
You understand?
Ofada.
Yeah, there's a town called Ofada. That's why we call it Ofada rice. But that same rice, you can decide to bleach it to look like the foreign rice.
Okay.
But it will still have this local taste. There's no how it will taste like the foreign one. Then there's another one. There's another species of rice that is being harvested or is being produced in Niger State. That's another species of rice. They call it is a destoned. It's already destoned. It's already bleached and all that. That's another species of rice. So, but basically, the local rice, the locally produced rice, its origin is from Ofada.
I think in this case, speaking of the Nigerian rice, not the Ofada bit.
Not the Ofada.
The Nigerian rice.
That was why I said if it's not bleached, if it's left raw like that, like let's
That's
split the stone by
original
ourselves.
Ofada rice.
Let's fare very well, you know.
I really do not know how to eat that rice.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
You can continue reading on page 4. It's nice. That it smells. I don't like it.
Oh.
Federal government reiterates commitment to policies to support MSMEs. That's on page 5. 165 naira pump price. NMDPRE monitors petrol depots and stations. That's on page 5. You might want to read more. Also on page 5, federal government is strengthening capital markets. Federal government is strengthening capital market on page 5. And on the front page, you can see pictures of dignitaries. When you grab a copy of the National Economy, you find out more.
All right, for this day papers, we have most of our stories on page 10, and I'll start from the major headline. FIRS to the rescue as subsidy gulps NNPC's revenue, and revenue generating agency now contributes over 60% to FAAC as cash trapped Nigeria again loses $650.7 million crude to force a major equipment failure and others. That's on page 10 of these day papers. And still on page 10, Ariwola emerges acting CJN after Muhammad is forced out. We first said we would actually be having diverse headlines on this particular one, and we have some riders to that. Don't let Nigerians lose confidence in judiciary. Buhari warns Supreme Court justices as NBA links resignation to frosty relations with colleagues. So now NBA is not supporting the health ground resignation.
Yes.
And
I think there were about 12 judges involved in this matter now. So now they are basing their fact on, it's related to whatever might have happened while they were in office with these 12 justices, and not on your ill health ground.
Yeah, so we have another rider. Article comments, ex-Chief Justice Makinde congratulates successor. That's on page 10. Still on page 10, Emefiele, Nigeria's forex policy targeted at preserving naira value and others as non-convertibility of currencies pose challenge for forex management. That's on page 10. And on to page 12. 2023, INEC chairman assures the United Nations of credible polls. And on page 6, SMBLF demands inclusion of state police in Nigeria's internal security architecture. And lastly, on these day papers, you need to see the inside. That's on page 22. See the This Day editorial on sacked CJN. Now, it's tagged sacked CJN, but to me, sack is different from resign.
I'm going to correct what I said. There are about 14 Supreme Court justices, and they leveled grave allegations of maladministration and financial impropriety against this Bauchi State-born jurist. I think this is the main reason they think.
Not the health. Anyway.
Alright, moving on to The Guardian. You don't have such powers. Irabo faults Matawali on harms bearing. That's on page 8. PDP threatens to expose Obasanjo over mistake comment on article. Also on page 8. Yeah, we Another headline here on the CJN amid Rev'd. Mohammed bows out. Ariwola becomes Chief Justice of Nigeria. And the writer says, Buhari swears in Ariwola as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, confers G-Con on Mohammed. Warns judiciary against losing confidence of Nigerians. I will not fail Nigerians, Ariwola assures. Access to justice ails CJN's resignation. NBA links CJN's resignation to rumbling in Supreme Court. Resignation not enough. EFCC should arrest him. Says Huriwa. Yeah, Huriwa. And the last writer says our first task before Ariwola is to bring experienced private practitioners to Supreme Court, says Chief Aliyu San. All of these you can read on the inside on page 6. Moving on, Tinubu jets off to France as APC refutes alleged 6.5 trillion naira budget for flag bearer. Well, that's on page 3. Still on page 3, fresh fare hike looms over stranded $600 million airlines fund. That's on page 3.
Now I see why you want to joke.
I don't know. Moving on to page 4, graft charges against military contractor officials. CSLAC tells Buhari, that's on page 4. And finally on page 7, we'll see again, IPOB declares sit at home today in South East.
All right, on to the blueprint papers. This is still on the CJN issue. That's NBN urges CJN Ariwola on reform. Tanko bars out, and we have some new ideas to that. Lawyers pledge support to clean mess in the system. Bear true allegiance, Buhari tells Supreme Court justices. TMG hails ex-CJN's courage, seeks restructuring, is saying kindred Tumbo Buhari felicitate with Ariwola. That's on page 6 of the blueprint papers. And we have some other stories on page 5. 22 die in Katsina IDP's camp over starvation and hardship. On to page 7, SMBLF tells federal government, do something before Nigeria ends up as failed state. On to page 13, on 2023, APC denies raising 6.5 trillion naira to bribe voters, INEC, others. And on to page 22, local investors lending to federal government rises to 4.2 trillion naira. In the first quarter of 2022. And still on to page 22 of the blueprint papers, the World Bank says food shortage, inflation to cripple economic growth. And on to page 23, that'll be the last one on the blueprint papers. We have 2 stories there. MultiChoice admits facing liquidity constraints in Nigeria as federal government to enforce 10 naira per litre 10 naira per litre sugar tax to hike carbonated drinks price. Okay, now, Shab, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Okay, now, I think everybody will be forced to live healthy, you know. Not every time carbonated drink. You can take a cold subo on your streets.
Of course.
You can even do homemade subo. Not
I
every
do
time.
those things, you know.
Yeah.
So you can order from yours.
But just that if carbonated drinks, if there is a hike in price of
funny enough,
carbonated
I
drinks,
do not. Yes, of course, that the price in all of those things.
definitely fruits will be
Right,
expensive
yes.
and all that because people
Funny
want
enough,
to go for that.
I do not put sugar in my Zobo drink.
No, less for people like us.
I know
Sugar
now,
vendors
some
will not
people
sell.
I know, right?
Shab, the Lord bless you. Thank you. Hallelujah.
And finally, the Daily Trust newspaper here. Ansaru terrorists ban political activities in Kaduna, beat residents. That's on page 7. Military rejects Zamfara's call for citizens to bear arms. That's on page 2. Lassa fever kills 158 in 24 states in 6 months. That's also on page 2. Of course, another headline on the CJN. Tanko Mohammed was forced to resign as CJN. Different headlines.
We have forced to resign, sacked, resigned, like,
All right. Also on the front page, what I discussed with Obasanjo on 2023 elections. Ango Abdullah says you want to find out on the inside of page 12 how Ahmed Gulak was killed. Says suspect. Please recover plugged eyes of Bauchi boy. Arrest 3 suspects. That's on page 20. Customs inches towards 3.1 trillion naira 2022 revenue targets. That's on the inside. It's quite tiny, and we can see on the front page the picture of the acting CJN and President Muhammadu Buhari during the swearing in. Yes, yesterday in Abuja at the presidential villa. I think that's much you can take on the newspaper this morning. Tomorrow is going to be another edition of the review here on Lagoon Radio. Don't forget to keep listening. On Facebook is at Lagoon Radio Nigeria. Like and follow on Instagram and Twitter at Lagoonradio.Ng. And of course on YouTube is at LagoonTV. You click your subscribe button, turn on your notification as well to get more video updates and ASAP as soon as you come on here. And of course, if you want to take a recap of all of our programs, you can go to our YouTube as well to take a recap. I remain Taiwo Adiola Shabuli and
Olabisi Simidili, okay.
Good morning and have a nice day.
Bye, good morning.
This is Lagoon